What woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit.
Trump's dramatic examples not only attract attention, but also reinforce his political message about protecting traditional values and women's rights in modern society. If you agree with these views or simply want to follow Trump's interesting perspectives, click follow to not miss any updates. If you're woke, you're a loser. Everything woke is trash. These provocative statements from Donald Trump have fueled the debate about the woke culture that is dividing society. With his blunt and confrontational style, Trump has not hesitated to strongly criticize the supporters of the woke movement, calling them retards, and turning this culture war into a political focal point. But are these statements just a ploy, or are they a reflection of a larger conflict? Love or hate, Donald Trump is a political tornado that cannot be ignored. With his bold style and uncensored statements, he has created one of the most controversial figures in modern history. Trump's blunt and sometimes offensive words have divided public opinion. Supporters praise him for his strong and anti-establishment stance, especially towards the woke culture, while opponents criticize him for his controversial statements and lack of restraint, saying they hurt many people. Follow to see the interesting content below.
Database and profiled by the former president's election campaign and identified by them as a strong...
You see, they say it's a shame to have to face these things. Others cheer Donald Trump as a crusader against the woke culture and what they see as the out-of-control politics and correctness that dominates society. They see him as someone who speaks out, breaks traditional political molds, and fights against an elite that they see as eroding the values and rights of ordinary people. In their eyes, Trump represents change, unafraid to confront and defend his views, even when it makes him controversial. In the next few minutes, you'll witness Donald Trump's most audacious takedowns of woke culture. It all started when a feminist tried to cancel Trump at a conference by indirectly calling him a misogynist. Needless to say, it backfired. Trump, in his blunt and unabashed style, quickly responded with his own direct attacks. He not only denied the accusations, but also criticized cancel culture and the woke movement, turning the confrontation into a heated debate that drew the attention of the media and his supporters.
Think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her. I knew I shouldn't have picked her. All right, so let me give you that answer right now. I respect women incredibly.
In the context of the controversy over the role and rights of women, Donald Trump has asserted his position strongly and decisively. When criticized for not being a friend to women, Trump did not hesitate to refute, emphasizing that he always respects and supports women in both work and personal life. He started by asking the opposite question, "How do I know I shouldn't choose her?" This was not only a challenging question, but also a way to affirm that his choice of women was not bound by prejudice. Trump has been proud to mention the women who have worked for him, particularly in the construction industry, an industry that is notoriously gender-biased. He noted that a woman was in charge of building Trump Tower, a position that had previously been held by very few women. The recognition not only demonstrates his commitment to gender equality, but also shows that he has given women more opportunities than perhaps anyone else in the construction industry.
I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So, if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job, and I happen to be pro-life. Okay? I'm pro-life.
While he criticized Hillary Clinton, who criticized him for his comments about women, Trump insisted that his mother was one of the greatest women in the world, further highlighting the importance of women in his life. He was not afraid to point out the failures of other politicians, like Jeb Bush, who refused to fund women's health issues, but later backed off. This was Trump's way of showing that he is not just talking the talk, but also taking action to fulfill his commitment to taking care of women. Donald Trump's response was a masterful reversal of the accusations. He not only defended himself but also attacked back, listing his achievements in empowering women, especially in male-dominated fields. This was applied to the woke culture, making his opponent flinch. Despite this, the woman continued to play the role of a feminist, trying to push the debate in a different direction, especially on the issue of the wage gap. However, under pressure from Trump and losing ground, she was forced to withdraw from the debate, making the situation even more favorable to Trump.
Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children.
When asked about equal pay and body control, Donald Trump gave a decisive answer. He emphasized that pay should not be based on gender, but on performance. According to Trump, women like men should receive equal pay if they do an excellent job. When it comes to body control, Trump expressed his support for the right to life, reflecting his stance on abortion. Trump's answer shows his determination and conservative stance on these sensitive social issues. In just a few words, Donald Trump dismissed the entire concept of a systemic wage gap, reducing it to a matter of personal performance. But Trump didn't stop there. In a video released by himself in his usual blunt style, he continued to wade into the heated cultural debate, asserting what many think but few dare to say: there are only two genders. These statements further solidified Trump's position among his supporters and against woke culture, and sparked widespread controversy.
I tell the story of the great swimmer, great female swimmer, wonderful woman, beautiful woman. She's been swimming for many years. She wants to break the world record. And she's at the pool and she wants to break it by an eighth of a second. That's like fast. And she's going to do it. She's getting ready. And she looks down. She sees all people she's been competing with for years because...
As part of a new teacher certification body, Donald Trump has outlined his plan to promote positive education about the nuclear family, emphasizing the roles of mothers and fathers. He wants to celebrate the differences and uniqueness of men and women, rather than erase them. Trump has pledged to ask Congress to pass a bill that would establish the only genders the U.S. government recognizes as male and female, based on their assignment at birth. The bill would also ban boys from participating in girls' sports under Title IX and protect parents' rights to prevent their children from changing their gender or identity without their consent. Trump has strongly criticized the idea that children can be born the wrong gender, claiming that it is a new concept that has been introduced by the radical left in recent years and has never been seen before in human history. But Trump is just getting started. His crusade against woke culture is far from over. Next, we dive into another explosive controversy, as Trump takes aim at the participation of transgender male athletes in women's sports, an issue that those in the woke culture find offensive. Trump takes a hard line, arguing that this undermines fairness in women's sports. The audience's response, through applause and cheers, makes it clear what many Americans really want and support.
And I'll tell you what, if I were ever, I'd be the greatest women's basketball coach in history. Because I don't like LeBron James. I like Michael Jordan much better. But I'd go up to LeBron James. It doesn't matter. I'd say, LeBron, did you ever have any desire to be a woman? Because what I'd love you to do is star on my team that I'm building up. I will have the greatest team in history. They'll never lose. Nobody will come within 70 points of this team. Now, we have to change that, and we have to make it okay to talk about it. You know, the young...
Donald Trump has not hesitated to express his strong views on the issue of men participating in women's sports. He called it crazy and criticized political advisors who warned him that this view could be controversial. Trump emphasized that although this opinion is not popular in the political world, when he expressed his opinion, it received the biggest opposition and attention ever. Trump is confident that this view reflects the dissatisfaction of many people, saying that it is time to confront sensitive issues in modern society. But this is where things get crazy. Trump comes up with a story about the issue that is so absurd that it makes anyone gasp. The bizarre story serves as an example of his views on transgender athletes in women's sports, creating a moment that, whether you love him or hate him, you can't look away. Just watch it and you'll see how Trump uses directness and hyperbole to grab attention, turning controversy into a dramatic spectacle. Trump's final words make us afraid to talk about woke culture because it can lead to cancellation. Not just politicians, but most people feel the heat and hold back, afraid of the consequences of this culture thriving, along with the fear of backlash. Throughout the video, Trump describes himself as a champion of women's rights. However, when asked a seemingly simple but highly political question, "What is a woman?" his answer surprised everyone. A woman is a woman, no need for further definition. One of the big questions being asked of many politicians today is, what is a woman? I'm not going to answer the question, but a woman is someone who swims at a certain time and is not beaten in 38 seconds by someone who is not even a good swimmer as a man. Trump's dramatic examples not only attract attention, but also reinforce his political message about protecting traditional values and women's rights in modern society. If you agree with these views or simply want to follow Trump's interesting perspectives, click follow to not miss any updates.